She coached our kid to betray me in court. Now that her new man tried something sick, she wants my forgiveness. Not a chance. Hello, Reddit talkative here. I was married to my ex-wife, Melissa, for 9 years. We had a son together. I'll call him Jace, who's now 13. When we got together, Melissa seemed like this ride-or-die partner. Ambitious, charming, fiercely protective of our little family. I was a firefighter working unpredictable shifts. She was a part-time paralegal with flexible hours. Early parenting was tough, but we figured it out. Then came the drifting. We stopped connecting. She resented the job, the schedule, the emotional toll. I resented feeling like a stranger in my own house. She checked out emotionally long before she ever left physically. Counseling didn't go anywhere. One day, she told me she wasn't in love with me anymore, and a few weeks later, she moved out and took Jace with her. I tried to stay civil. We agreed on 50-50 custody at first. Things were working okay until she started dating a guy named Nathan. Wealthy, clean-cut tech guy. Very, I'm better than everyone energy. Melissa changed practically overnight. Suddenly, I wasn't a safe parent. She filed for primary custody and claimed my job put Jace in dangerous situations, and that I had emotional regulation issues. The kicker? She had Jace testify in court. Let me be clear, I never laid a hand on my kid. I was present. I coached soccer when I could, read to him every night when he was with me, and we had this Saturday ritual of pancakes and Star Wars, but when Jace took the stand, he said he felt afraid at my house. That I yelled a lot. That I once left him home alone to respond to an emergency. Never happened. He was with his aunt that night. It felt like I'd been punched in the throat. I looked at him, and he wouldn't meet my eyes. It was like watching my son become a stranger right in front of me. The judge gave her full custody. I got visitation every other weekend, and 1 weeknight a week. Melissa painted herself as the stable parent, with the perfect fiancé and the happy home. I was the emotional time bomb in uniform. I was furious, but I didn't retaliate. I didn't bash her to Jace. I showed up to everything I was allowed to. I let him know I loved him, even when he barely spoke to me. Years passed. She married Nathan. They had a daughter together. Jace turned 12 and started asking questions about the past, about things that didn't make sense. He asked me once, quietly, "Did I really say I was scared of you in court?" I said, "Yeah, bud. You did." I didn't elaborate. I could see the shame on his face, but he needed to work it out for himself. Then, a few months ago, Jace called me from a random number. He had walked out of their house barefoot and panicked, walked almost 2 miles to a gas station to use the payphone. He was scared. He said Nathan tried something. My brain just shut down. I drove to the gas station in under 10 minutes. Jace was there, shaking. I took him straight to the hospital to get examined and brought the cops in. What came out was horrifying. Nathan had been making off comments for over a year. "Boys need to learn about manhood. Your body's changing, huh?" That sort of creepy, boundary-testing talk. Melissa brushed it off, said Nathan was being fatherly, and that Jace was exaggerating. Then Nathan started accidentally walking in on him in the bathroom. Accidentally, putting a hand on his lower back when no one was looking. That day, Nathan tried to corner him in the garage and said something I won't repeat here, but Jace got away. Melissa told the cops she had no idea. But after talking with Jace, it was clear he had told her something was off months earlier. She just didn't believe him. She trusted him, the man she married over the son she gave birth to. I took emergency custody. Police are investigating Nathan. His lawyer is pulling every dirty trick in the book, but the forensic interviews are damning. Melissa called me, crying, apologizing. She admitted she told Jace to say those things in court years ago. She was scared she'd lose custody and thought I wouldn't fight it. She admitted Nathan never liked how close I was to Jace and pushed her to break the bond between us. So she let him. Then she asked me to forgive her. For not listening. For choosing the wrong man. For damaging our son. For dragging me through hell. You know what I told her? I said, "I'm not the one you need forgiveness from." Then I hung up. She's tried to call a few times since, left voicemails, sent long texts, apologies, explanations, begging me to let her see Jace again. She swears she's leaving Nathan, that she didn't know he was dangerous, that she's not that person anymore. But I remember who she was when she needed me to be the villain. And I saw what she let happen to our son when she needed her new husband to be the hero. Jace is in therapy now. He still has nightmares. He doesn't talk about Nathan much, but he asked me last week if I was mad at him for what he said in court back then. I told him the truth. I was hurt, but I'm not mad. You were a kid. You were trying to survive. I get it now. He cried. I cried. and we just sat on the porch in silence for a while. I don't know what will happen to Melissa or Nathan legally, but emotionally, she burned that bridge to ashes. She can drown in her guilt, but I won't throw her a rope. Forgiveness? Not a chance. Jace has been with me full time since that night he called me from the gas station. He's been going to trauma therapy twice a week. At first, he was like a closed fist. Tight, defensive, ashamed. He blamed himself for everything. For believing his mom, for lying in court, for choosing the wrong parent. He's only 13, and already he feels like he's lived 2 lives and failed at both. I kept telling him, "You were a kid. You just wanted to be safe. It took time." But he started to believe me. The other day he told me he feels like he can breathe at night now, that he doesn't have to keep his bedroom door locked anymore. It was a small sentence, but it shattered me. Melissa has been a wreck, texting and calling nonstop. She even tried showing up at Jace's school, saying she wanted to just talk to him. The school called me immediately, and security escorted her off the property. Jace wasn't even mad. He was just numb. He said, "She only shows up when she's scared she's lost. She didn't ask permission before filing a motion for visitation last week. Her petition was full of flowery language about rebuilding the sacred mother-son bond and how trauma shouldn't destroy family. She threw in therapy requirements and parenting classes like seasoning, hoping the judge would bite. But then, my lawyer did something that felt like a turning point. She entered an audio recording into evidence. It was from Melissa, a voicemail from about 2 months ago. She was crying, not knowing I had auto recording enabled on voicemails. In the message, she said, "I know I messed up, but I didn't think Nathan would go that far. I just wanted Jace to see you the way I saw you, like this distant, cold person who never put us first. Nathan told me it was the only way we'd get him to feel like we were his real family. I didn't think it'd matter. You always bounce back." She admitted to strategically alienating Jace to manipulate his bond with me. That was the nail in the coffin for the judge. Melissa's petition was denied without prejudice, meaning she can try again, but it's an uphill battle. The court also ordered her to attend mandatory therapy and parenting accountability classes before she can refile anything. Her supervised visitation request? Denied. The judge said Jace's emotional safety must come first. Now here's where it gets worse. Nathan was arrested last week. It turns out Jace wasn't the only one. Another boy came forward, Nathan's teenage nephew. The kid had kept it secret for 3 years. After he saw the story about Nathan's arrest in local news, he broke his silence. More victims are likely. The police are building a case, and it looks bad. There are computers seized, text logs, encrypted messages, the stuff they're not telling the public yet. My lawyer caught wind of it through her network. It's dark. When I told Jace, he went quiet. Then he asked, "Will they believe them?" I said, "They believed you, and you made it easier for them to speak up." He didn't say anything else, but later that night I found his Star Wars pancake mold on the kitchen counter. A little unspoken gesture, but I knew what it meant. The part that guts me the most? Melissa knew something was off. There were warning signs. Comments Jace made, changes in behavior, the way he flinched when Nathan raised his voice. She chose to ignore them. Not because she was afraid, not because she was manipulated, but because she wanted to believe she had built the perfect second-chance life. And when that life began to crack, she tried to claw her way back into mine, back into Jace's. She sent a letter last week. A real one, handwritten, with smudged ink like she'd cried while writing it. In it, she said she was finally seeing clearly, that she'd let men define her worth her entire life, and was ready to take responsibility. She asked me to read the letter to Jace, said it came from her heart. I read it, then I put it in a shoebox with the other things he's not ready for. Because he gets to decide if he ever wants to read it. Not me. Not her. He deserves to have control over something. After everything's stolen from him, he gets to draw that line. As for me, people say forgiveness is for you, not them, that it gives you peace, but I think that's a half-truth. Because peace doesn't come from pretending evil didn't happen. It comes from knowing you survived it, that you protected what mattered, that you didn't become as cruel as the people who broke you. I'll never forgive Melissa, and I don't need to. My job now is to help Jace heal, to rebuild a boy who was broken in places no child ever should be, and to never let her near that boy again.